Released in 1979, Ridley Scott's science fiction horror film Alien introduced moviegoers to heroine Ellen Ripley and her soon-to-be arch-nemesis, the Xenomorph. A sequel was written and directed by James Cameron titled Aliens. It saw release in 1986 and injected a dose of action into the series. Both films would influence storytellers of all types of medium, from the tension-inducing atmosphere of Alien to the standard for what we know as a space marine being established by Aliens. We'll be looking at 8 games in order of release that were influenced by these movies, with 2 of them being set within the Alien franchise. Developed and published by Nintendo, Metroid was released in 1986 for the Famicom Disk System. Other markets would see releases in 1987 and 1988 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Placed into the powered exosuit of bounty hunter Samus Aran, you are sent by the Galactic Federation to infiltrate the space pirates' home planet of Zebes and eliminate their leader, Mother Brain. Metroid's developers were strongly influenced by Alien. Both feature a lead female protagonist, which wasn't common in film or video games at the time of their respective releases. H.R. Giger designed the now legendary Xenomorph and all Alien environments for the movie. His biomechanical art style inspired the look of Zebes, its creepy Chozo statues, and Mother Brain. Speaking of Metroid's antagonists, Ridley is named after Ridley Scott, and Mother Brain after Nostromo's ship computer, Mother. A reoccurring theme of both franchises is the desire to use the respective alien species as bioweapons. Contra was developed and published by Konami. It was released for arcades in 1987, with most home conversions arriving in 1988. Red Falcon has established a base of operations on Earth with the goal of ending humanity. You take control of Earth Marine Corps Contra members Bill Reiser or Lance Bean. Your mission? Investigate and eliminate all threats. While the plot and gameplay of Contra are inspired from 1980s action movies, its extraterrestrial villains are taken straight from the Alien franchise. Upon starting the last stage, you'll quickly notice an organic design similar to that of the Hive from Aliens. The first enemy you encounter in this lair resembles a supersized adult xenomorph head that shoots projectiles. As you approach the final boss, you will be attacked by enemies that look like facehuggers. Upon reaching said boss, its primary defense is multiple eggs that will continually produce facehuggers. The NES box art features an alien inspired by the Xenomorph, and the Stage 3 boss has been changed to a large creature that resembles the Queen from Aliens. On a chilly December day in 1993, the University of Wisconsin FTP server struggled to host the PC release of Doom. While it was not the original first-person shooter, it set the bar for the genre and was the launch point for its burgeoning popularity. Doom is light on story. Players take on the role of an unnamed space marine stationed on Mars. After his brothers in arms are all killed, he embarks on a quest for revenge against countless demons from hell. Doom's main appeal is violent, fast-paced action mixed with points of tension, similar to the flow of Aliens. It's littered with moments of suspense by using environmental lighting, along with the player hearing enemies they can't see but are about to encounter, further heightening the senses. Like Aliens, most of the weapons found in Doom have more in common with 20th century firearms than futuristic sci-fi weaponry. The pulse rifle is clearly the star of the movie, but one other firearm makes a strong impression. A weapon for close encounters. The shotgun. id Software embraced the shotgun so much that Doom 2 introduced the super shotgun while still keeping the old trusty pump action. The 1990s saw another genre rise in popularity Thanks to the proliferation of personal computers, real-time strategy games. Developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment, StarCraft was released in 1998 and draws influence from the film Aliens. The human Terrans have space marines, but visually they have more in common with Warhammer 40k due to their exosuits. Their dropship pilots are female and speak some of the same lines as Corporal Pharaoh from Aliens.
We're in the pipe, 5 by 5. Destination, in the pipe, 5 by 5.
While the Terrans are pretty cool, what we're really here to talk about are the Zerg, an insectoid race heavily influenced by the Xenomorph. Groups of fast-moving Zergling units conjure images of countless Xenomorphs hurtling themselves into the fray. Both species create structures of an organic nature, operate as a hive mind, and are led by a queen. On November 15th of 2001, Microsoft released the Xbox along with their flagship title, Halo Combat Evolved, developed by Bungie. Players take control of the Master Chief and experience his fight against the alien collective known as the Covenant. Alright, let's start with the most egregious inspiration to come from Aliens. I'd like to introduce you to Sergeant Major Avery Johnson, also known as Sergeant Apone. Anyone who saw Aliens before playing Halo knew exactly where the genesis for this character came from. Thankfully, he's tough as nails just like Apone and sticks around longer for us to enjoy. Other influences include ammo counters on UNSC assault and battle rifles, the Pillar of Autumn using the flying gun aesthetic of the Sulaco, and the Flood. While they are not an insectoid race, they do require hosts to spread and have a similar organic nature, from their physical appearance to creating their hive by covering structures with biomass. Developed and published by Electronic Arts, Dead Space was released in 2008. Similar to Alien, the game takes place on a large mining spacecraft. Playable character Isaac Clarke is much like Ellen Ripley, an average person who isn't equipped to deal with the situation forced upon them, but must find a way to survive. The enemies Isaac encounters are called necromorphs, former humans that have mutated into grotesque creatures that like to travel through ventilation ducts and burst from air vents. As you move through parts of the Ishimura, you can't help but think about Ripley traversing the lower areas of the Nostromo. With no on-screen HUD and excellent use of sound and lighting, this was one of the most immersive horror experiences at the time of its release. With Dead Space being our 6th game discussed, we'll now be talking about Alien-branded video games. These are two of my favorites, with one pulling inspiration from Alien and the other from Aliens. Developed by Creative Assembly and published by Sega, Alien Isolation released in 2014. Set 15 years after the events of Alien, you control Ellen's daughter Amanda Ripley. The discovery of Nostromo's flight recorder brings Amanda to Sevastopol Station. Unfortunately, she's about to experience a traumatic event similar to what her mother did, as Isolation draws heavily from the film Alien. Sevastopol is a newer version of the same class of starfreighter as the Nostromo. Those familiar with the film Alien will notice the similarities immediately. Unlike the rest of the games we've talked about, your goal is to avoid conflict as much as possible. A game of cat and mouse ensues as you sneak around avoiding humans, hostile synthetics controlled by Sevastopol's AI, and the lone xenomorph that roams the ship. With so many games pulling from the bombastic action of Aliens, Isolation is a welcome change and truly conveys how deadly a single xenomorph can be. Our final game is a mix between the film Aliens and XCOM Enemy Within. Aliens Dark Descent released in 2023 and was developed by Tindalos Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. Set 19 years after the events of Alien 3, you command a group of colonial marines as they attempt to repair their crashed ship while becoming involved in a deepening conspiracy involving xenomorphs. The game's environments, sound effects, and visual aesthetics of characters, vehicles, and weapons are spot on. New types of xenomorphs are introduced, reminding me of Kenner's Aliens toy line of the early 1990s. My favorite moments are when you have to rapidly set up a defensive position by welding doors shut and setting up automated gun turrets or anti-personnel mines while a horde of aliens close in on your position. The tactical aspects of Dark Descent are enjoyable, and watching your carefully laid plan result in success is very rewarding. At times, you will be forced to fight xenomorphs with no time to prepare. These moments are tense and result in action-filled firefights as you have to quickly react to rapidly changing conditions. There we go! 8 games influenced by the first 2 Alien movies. What are some of your favorite games to feature the xenomorph? And what are your opinions of the movies? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching.